Alrighty, so here's what we're going to do, guys. This thing that's in front of you is called the PBPC 1600X, MIDI Command Station. What they used to say about this thing was, the little marketing catchphrase was, anything that can be controlled by MIDI can be controlled by the PC 1600.
Is it true?
It is true. So they actually discontinued these, which is a bit of a bummer, because there really isn't anything like it anymore. So you got 16 buttons and 16 faders, and you also get a couple of foot switch inputs and what they call CV inputs, so you can do like volume control pedals or something. So really you have 18 faders, because the 2 CV inputs are like extra faders. Okay, and you can make those buttons and faders send pretty much any MIDI message you can think of. Okay, so what I'm going to do is teach you how to program a few of these things. And ultimately, this is probably what you'll use to do your storybook project. So the idea is each of these buttons would be a button that you could press to be labeled on the page. Yes. All right. So shall we do this? Okay. Let me. The first thing we need to do is just make sure that everything's actually working. So give me just a second here. Let's see.
What? I mean, at least
Okay, so let's figure out. I'm going to have to trace some things here. There we go. I knew that would be too good to do. That one works. All right, so you've got that.
Cable tray? No, I don't. It's in my space.
Unless this isn't set to pass. Hold on a second. Let's check and see.
Plug it back in.
There we go.
Plug it back in.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Yours was set to filter all MIDI.
I don't know what that means, but
Filter, so it was not allowing any MIDI to pass through it. Yeah.
Oh,
So oh, you got to initialize the thing. That's why. Okay, so let's just X. So let's try a different cable. It's like Jim Hart cables. Yeah, the synth program for she loves me. We sent him one of his and kept one, or sent him one of ours and kept one of his. Maybe yours is set to filter. All MIDI pass. There we go. Yay! All right.
Oh, yeah, no, that was me.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and then.
Just move the fader and send a ton of things.
You just set the filters on, all right.
it's a utility. Just scroll.
Okay, let's see if mine works now.
Hi.
Yes.
Sending stuff.
Okay, great. We're all working now. Okay, so let's program a button, shall we?
Yes.
All right, so this is a little cumbersome because it's like, 2-row screen here and only a couple buttons, so it's not the most easy thing to do. So here's what you can do. You can hit Edit, and then there's 2 ways to do this. You can move the little wheelie until you get the thing you're wanting to do. Let's do button 1. So turn it till you see button 1. Alternatively, you can just push button 1, and it'll get straight to the button. Okay? So you should see button 1 flashing on your screen. Yeah? Hit enter. So you should see now button 1 function. And it should say something about what the current function is of button 1. Mine says string toggle. Yours probably says something else. Yours says string toggle.
Mine says note on
String.
/ off.
Yeah. Okay. So what you're going to do is when you're in this situation where you have nothing flashing, it's just telling you what's going to happen. If you want to change it, you have to get it to flash. Okay. So you make it flash by hitting the right or left arrow. And now it's flashing. Yes? And now, if you turn the wheel or use the up-down arrows, it'll scroll through all the different possible things that this button could do. So the first, if you scroll all the way to the top, it should say off/fader ID. And what that means is the button really sends no MIDI command, but it will tell you the name of the fader that is above it, or the value of the fader. So you go up, mute fader is your next option. And what that'll do is it'll take, if you push the button, it'll take whatever value is programmed to the fader, whatever range, and send the low value of the fader, even if you haven't moved the fader to that low value. Okay? Next one is solo fader. That does the inverse. So it leaves the fader above it alone, but mutes all the other faders by sending their lowest value. Program change, we'll just send a program change message. Okay, so let's do that. So you should make program change flash. So you should see program change flashing on your screen. Yeah? All right. So now in order to change, to set the settings for program change, you have to stop it flashing first. So stop it flashing by pushing the right or left arrow again. So now you should see program change not flashing. Yes? All right. Hit the up arrow. And now you should see two values, channel and program number. Okay. So if you hit your right arrow, you'll get the channel 1 flashing. So pick a MIDI channel, 1 through 16, or you can do channel out. Channel out, there's a global channel output, and that's what I was setting on all of yours. And it'll just use that value. It's up to you. Just pick up a channel number. Actually, just everybody do channel 1, just to be, it's just so easy. All right, and now hit your right arrow, and you should get program number flashing. All right, I'm going to be program 0. You'll be program 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
3. No, 2.
Okay, so get your number dialed in there. So your number should be blinking at you. Okay. And then you can hit exit, and it'll stop flashing. And then exit again, and you should now see button 1 flashing at you again. Jim hit exit one too many times.
So you hit exit.
So hit edit again. So you should see button 1 flashing at you.
Yeah, I hit the arrow, side arrow.
Oh, okay.
Which is the same.
I go up. Right? And you want to be program number 2. So I hit exit. Exit. Okay. So everybody's got button 1 flashing. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now you're going to do this highly precision move here. This is the signature PC 1600 move. You're going to take your wheel and you're just going to spin it all the way to the right. You should see name, save, preset. Yes?
Yes.
Enter, enter, enter. Okay.
What just happened?
So let's see if it worked. Let's do mine. Program. Well, hang on. Let me change the preferences so it'll show us the actual number. Okay. Hang on, hang on.
That was me. Mine's.
All right, program number 0. You should be button 1. Program number 1. Yeah? Corey? Program number 2. Wait, why did it happen twice?
Because we did it twice.
The first time we didn't rush.
Okay. 3, 4, 5. Yay! We all sent program changes. All right, so let's do another one. Let's edit button 2. So hit the edit, and then push button 2. And you should see button 2 flashing.
Yeah.
So hit enter. And it should see, you should see whatever the function is. Get that to flash with the right arrow. And then you want to do, let's see, find note on off, which is the next function. So once you have note on off, you can stop that flashing with your little right arrow. And then go up. You should see 3 values: channel number, note number, and velocity value. Yes? All right, so hit your right arrow and start setting those. Everyone stay on channel 1. And pick whatever note you want to do.
Whatever note you want.
And just set keep the velocity at 127.
So FDR is theta. What's REM?
Huh?
Under velocity.
Remote velocity. Pick a note, any note. Just remember what it was.
Then we can enter.
Nope. You hit exit. Stop it flashing. Exit again. You should see button 2 flashing at you now. Yes? Spin it all the way to the right.
Oh, all right.
And then enter, enter, enter.
Why is it called sticky base?
Well, I'll tell you how to change that later. Okay, so let's see what mine is. So mine is note on C2. And notice it's on when I press and note off, so 0 velocity when I release it. On, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. All right, go for it, Jen. Let's see if yours works.
I guess
Oops. Button 2, there you go.
Oh, there you
All right, so you did F1 on, off, on, off. All right, Corey, you got yours?
That's there. No, I mean, I like I
That's
said it.
here in the back.
I said it, but like I don't know how do I get into the.
Exit. Spin it. Enter, enter, enter. Why are you back in 14? There you go. Okay. No, you're still in edit.
What is 14?
Exit. Spin it. Enter, enter.
Oh, I did. Okay.
There you go. Now do 2. There you go. Excellent.
Oh, I should be in Sheila's room?
Well, you just need to pick one and stick with it.
Oh, okay. Just I don't understand.
Take off.
Screen. There's no.
Excellent.
What note did you pick?
C6.
C7.
That's me up there.
Well, no, because now you're in a
I
preset.
see. I got it. I understand.
There's
I'm
50
getting it.
different presets
I'm
on this thing,
understanding.
right? So if you go to a different preset, now you're programming different buttons.
Totally. So I go
Okay.
back there. I'm there.
Okay.
Good.
All right, let's do button number 3 now. So edit, and then hit button 3, and then hit enter. And then get it flashing, and select string.
Yay.
String.
Just string, straight up
Oh.
string.
Just right.
We got string flashing?
Yes.
All right, stop it flashing, and then hit the up arrow, and you should see something that says F0, 00, F7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
That's
Oh, because you already have something on there. Because yours is already programmed. Okay, so what you're going to do, hit your right arrow, and keep pushing it until your cursor is in the space between the first 2 bytes. Yeah, there you go. Yes. Now spin your wheel all the way to the left, and it'll get rid of all those extra ones.
All the way to the left?
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So now you can go back, arrow back to the beginning of that first byte. So you should be hovering under the F or whatever that first thing is.
Mhm.
All right. We want to do. Let's just do a straight up note on message. Okay, without a note on. So note on would be what? This is a hexadecimal. What would be the first value? Has to be at least an 8, right?
Yes.
To be a status byte. Note on is what for the first byte?
Is it 121?
No, this is
Nine.
hex.
9?
I mean,
9.
121 in regular.
Yeah, you want 9 and hide that high nibble.
Found it.
Okay? And then the second value is your MIDI channel, right? So I'll be 0, Jim, you'll be 1, Corey 2, Tracy 3, 4, and 5. Okay?
Great.
All right, now arrow over so you're right after that first byte now. And hit up to get you another byte.
Aha!
Okay? Now you can change this one. So let's just all do middle C because that's easy to remember.
When I hit the up arrow, I got a 0, 0, F7. Is that normal?
0, 0,
Wanna get up there?
4.
Yeah, that's fine. You just hit it twice.
64, right? Yeah, C4, I guess.
So middle C, remember what middle C is?
64?
3C.
3C.
Oh, yeah.
This
Oh.
is all
I said
hexadecimal.
C3.
Oh, so the note we picked is what we have to.
No. Just we're all gonna do middle C because that's easy. C. Everybody do 3C. Okay.
And hit the up arrow.
Hit the up arrow to get you another byte. You don't already have one. Because you need the third byte for velocity, right?
127.
No.
You got an extra one.
It's F7.
F7, that's what I meant.
All right, make that be 3C. So make your third byte 7F for full velocity.
Not F7.
No, 7F.
Yeah, it was like 7F.
F7 would be end of systems exclusive.
It's kind of hard to tell if it's an E.
The E, they put a line above the line.
Did they?
Yes.
You just spin it all the way over, it'll stop it out. That's the highest value you can do. Okay? So everybody got a full note on message in there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay?
7F, what'd you say 7F was?
Full velocity, 127.
127.
Alright, so now hit exit, and your cursor should go away. Yes? Now hit exit again, and you should see button 3 flashing.
Yep.
Now with button 3 flashing, spin it all the way to the right. So it says name save preset, yes, and then enter, enter, enter.
What are these things that were introduced?
The name and same name.
Didn't work.
We'll get to that in a minute.
I spent it all the way to the right end until like 0, 1.
You didn't go all the way to the right. Enter, enter, enter. Okay, so here's my note on. There you go. Look at that. Note on, middle C on MIDI channel 1. Okay, Jim, let's try yours. There, note on, middle C, but this time channel 2. Corey, let's see yours. You should be channel 3. Yes, middle C, channel 3. Channel 4. Channel 5. Channel 6. Yes.
Goodbye.
Okay. Let's do button 4 now. Edit button 4. Enter. All right. So you should see button 4 function and then something, right?
Mhm.
Get it flashing.
Okay.
And this time we want string press / release. So enter. Enter. There you go.
Oh, okay.
And then get it flashing.
I got it.
Yeah, so these buttons, by the way, you have to hit them dead on. You can't hit them on the edges, or they
Yeah.
don't work.
Let me said string.
String press/release. All right, so stop that flashing, and then go up. And your first thing is you have. So what this does is it'll send one string when you press it and a different string when you release it. Okay. So the first one you see is your press string. So you should see press string and then F0, 0, 0, F7. Okay. All right. So hit your right arrow to start this thing off, and let's do same note on message you just did before. So it's the exact same thing. So 9, then whatever your channel is, then 3C, then 7F.
Okay, what's
So 9.
now I go to edit.
Stop the flashing, the arrow, and then go up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, I see.
So now hit your right arrow to get that cursor open. Oh wait, that's your release string. So press release, press string. That's what it is. All right. So just right arrow. There you go.
Right, and what do you want?
Same thing you did before. So mine was 903C 7F. Yours will be 9 and then some other number 367.
Oh, 7.
9C.
Yours was 1, 9, 1. Right, because you were MIDI channel 1.
Oh, I see. Oops.
So 9, 1. 3C,
3C.
and then 7. 9, 2. 9, 3, 3, 6, 9, 4, 9, 5. Excellent. Get your 7F, and then okay. Now here's what you got to do: hit exit to stop the cursor. Okay, so you should still see your string now, but there shouldn't be anything flashing. Now hit your up arrow, and now you should see release string. Okay. So now hit your right arrow and you can start making this one. Let's do a note off for the same thing you just did. So do the same thing, but do use an 8 instead of a 9. So it'll be note off.
Right.
So I'll do 8, 0, 3, C, 7F, for example.
Let's see.
You will do 8, 1, 3, C, 7F, 8, 2, 3, 7F, so on and so forth. Everybody got it? All right. Yes. So hit exit, then exit again, and you should see button 4 flashing. With button 4 flashing, you can spin your wheel all the way to the right. So it says name, save, preset, and hit enter, enter, enter. Okay. So now what'll happen is this will give us a very similar result to what we had before when we were doing note on, note off when we released. But in this case, it's going to be a different sort of note off. It's going to be a note off with full velocity. Right? Because we're not doing the hokey 0 velocity note on message. So there's note on, note off with full velocity. Okay? Try yours. Excellent.
Why does it work with full velocity?
Because we're using a true. No, you're using. Where are you getting a program change?
It's 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So because we used. Because we used a true note on status byte, we can have variable velocity for a note off. Not that that's particularly useful, but it's just this is just showing you that we can actually decide what sort of note off message we want to use. Yes. Okay. Yours. Let's see yours. Excellent. Excellent. Did you switch to the preset again or something?
No.
That's it. That's it. That's it. Spin it. Enter it. There we go. Yeah. Excellent. Okay, so there's another function that's similar to press release called string toggle, but what that does is just alternates between two values. So you push it once, you get the first string. You push it the next time, you get the second string. Third time, it goes back to the first one. And then there's other ones too, but those are the main ones that you're going to use. Now the cool thing about the string message is you can put as many bytes in there as you want. Not really, but there's a memory limitation, but I very rarely hit it. So in the context of the storybook, for example, remember in some cases I was sending 3 different node on messages and then 2 different node off messages, all in one button. So that you can keep adding bytes to that thing and keep loading strings into it. Okay, and you can send a whole big long message with one button. Very, very handy. Okay, I don't think you won't probably use the faders for your project, but I'll go ahead and show you how to do those. So hit edit, and then let's move fader 1. And so you should see fader 1 flashing.
Why did edit now? It's even when I'm saying pretty same.
Move the fader. Fader must be dead. Yeah, fader 1's dead on this one. Do fader 2 instead. Okay. All right. So once you got your fader flashing, you can hit enter. Okay, so you got a few different things you can do here. You've got 3 options. One is controller. So you should see that right now, unless you're in some wonky preset like
Wait, what do I
this.
do? Sorry, just to repeat that. So I'm in fader 1, and then
Edit.
thank you.
Or no, enter, sorry.
Great.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, so it should see function and then something.
Mm-hmm.
So if you hit your right arrow to get that flashing, you can scroll through the options. So one is no message, which is just turn the fader off. Controller means just pick a controller message that you want to send. The next one is master fader. So you can say, this fader will act as, it's sort of like a VCA for like the other ones. And then string. And so let's just do the controller first. So get controller flashing. All right, then hit the right arrow to stop it flashing. And then hit the up arrow, and you get a channel and a controller number. Okay, so everybody pick a controller. I'll do 0, Jim, you do 1, Corey 2, 3, 4, 5, so on. So channel, everybody on channel 1, but just pick a different controller number.
I was just thinking somebody put in 121 or 123.
Yeah, it'll take that. It'll do that. That's fine. I mean, that's
reset.
That's technically a reset, but we don't have this hooked up to anything real. It'll just show us. Okay, so everybody got that? Hit exit to stop it flashing.
Oh, have we picked a number?
Yeah, so you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, I mean control.
Yeah, 1.
Control number 1?
Yep.
Oh, okay. That's modulation.
Wait, channel 1 or control number 1?
Channel 1, and then everybody has a different controller number.
Okay.
Okay? So stop it flashing by hitting exit. Right? So you should see your channel number and your controller number not flashing. Okay? Now hit the up arrow, and you should see fader 1 min and max. This is where you can set the range of the fader. So it defaults to 0 to 127, which is the widest default range you can do, right? But maybe you just want this fader to go from 50 to 60, right? This is going to be just a fine tune. You're going to nudge things. So you can adjust that. So you get it flashing and adjust them, whatever you want it to do. Just leave it at 120, 0 to 127 for now. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that that's there. So now hit exit, and you should see fader flashing at you. Fader 1 flashing at you, or 2 in your case. All right, now spin your wheel over until you see name save preset. And then enter, enter, enter. Okay, so here's mine. And I did 0, so that's bank select. Jim's modulation. Corey's breath control. Tracy's number 3. Foot controller. There you go. Hey, we all did it. So we all sent a controller change. Okay, let's do fader 2. or fader 3 in your case, just show. Edit fader 2. Enter.
Edit fader 2?
Yeah, so edit
Right.
fader 2.
Oh, I see.
And then enter. Okay, so now instead of controller, let's do string. So get string and then stop the flashing with the exit button. And then you can hit up. And here you can put a string in. So let's just to show you how cool this is. This is pretty awesome. Maybe I want to actually fade the volume for 2 MIDI channels at the same time with one fader. Wouldn't that be cool? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. What's the status byte for control change? It's not 8 or 9 because those are note off and note on, right? B for control change, right? All right, so I'm going to do B for my first byte, and then I'm going to do channels 0 and 1. Okay, so I'll do B0. You guys do that too? No, just do B0. Everybody do B0.
Oh, okay.
Just hit edit. Right arrow to start playing. There you go. So B0, and then what controller number is volume? Do you remember?
Yeah. 7.
7. All right, so pull up 0, 7.
So B07.
B0, and then the next byte is 0, 7.
B007.
Now, what's the third byte represent? Do you remember?
It's just,
That's controller number. Controller number 7 is typically mapped to volume in most MIDI devices.
How do we? Is there a list of that?
Yeah, I gave it to you.
you can get them online too. It's a standard.
Those handouts I emailed you have that chart in there. All right, so what's the third byte represent? Remember? Third byte in a control change message?
It's not MIDI machine control, is it? Or is
No.
it? Oh, it's
I think
not
we're
one of those.
talking control change message.
Control change message.
So the first byte is the status byte that says B0, right? The second byte is our data byte, which is the controller number.
Oh, there's
And
what's
then-
a note. Is that?
This is the third byte is the controller value. So if the second byte is the controller number, which is 7 for volume, the third byte is the value of that controller. So what do I want to set the volume to?
Wide open.
7.
0. It's a range of 0 to 127 or 7F.
26.
Well, but what do we want? What value do we put in here?
Well, we don't. How would we know?
Exactly. How would we know? Because it depends on where the fader is, yes? If I just put a number in there, then every time I move that fader, I just get that number. I need a variable. So take your little, get your cursor flashing over that last byte, spin your wheel all the way over, and you get this magic thing called PR.
Public relations.
And
It's
it's parameter. It's the parameter value of the fader. So it will update that byte live as you move the fader.
Oh.
Okay?
So it's like a
I have an
ton
extra.
of
How do I get rid of? I have an
You have an extra byte? You're going to need it in a second.
Oh, great. Okay.
Okay? So now arrow over to where your cursor is positioned after that PR. And then hit up 3 times. You'll do it 2 times. You get yourself 3 more bytes ultimately.
Right.
Okay, so now I'm going to do another volume change message. So this will be, it'll be a different MIDI channel this time. So I want to now do channel 1. So it'll be B107PR.
Don't we have to say
Oh, I
stop
see.
first before we
Stop what?
Don't we have to say this, because isn't this one message and this is another message?
Yeah.
So where's the stop?
There is no stop. Because the MIDI protocol says that a control change message has 2 data bytes. So it's going to stop listening for that message once it gets those 2 bytes.
What happens if I put a 7F in there after that, and then continue my next one.
It'll ignore it. Because it's not supposed to get a data byte there, so it'll just say, forgive that.
Gotcha. I didn't know that some of these things already knew to only listen for certain bytes.
Well, that's the MIDI protocol. The MIDI protocol says a control change message only has 2 data bytes that come with it. So it knows that when it sees that status byte come in, it knows to only listen to the next 2 data bytes and then stop worrying about that message.
Is that included in the thing that you sent us as well? Or just missing that email?
Yeah, no, that's the whole MIDI protocol. That whole conversation we had about the MIDI standard says this status byte has this many data bytes. Like that's the rule. And so anything that does MIDI knows that. It knows when it sees that sort of status byte to expect 2 more data bytes after it, and then that message is done. And just waits for another status byte.
Well, I'm saying, like, what about another different one? So it was like C0.
Well, that only gets 1 data byte because that's a program change. So when it sees a status byte that's a C, there's only 1 data byte that comes after that. Because I taught you that. We had a whole class about it. Remember?
No, I don't. Clearly not.
Well, that was on February 27th.
You took a test on this, didn't you?
No,
No.
we actually
No.
never did.
Did I never post that test?
You never posted.
Well, I'll give it to you now. Oh, that's right, because I was going to wait till I taught you this. I remember now, because I knew you were going to need a refresher.
I mean, you totally gave us that test.
What?
All right. So anyway, your next message is B107PR. So you should see B007PR, B107PR.
Where's the PR?
You have to
There it
submit.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. So everybody got that?
Yes.
That's supposed to be U1.
B107.
So what I'm saying here is I'm going to send 2 messages every time I move this 1 fader. First message is going to be volume change on channel 0, or channel 1, depending on how you look at it. And the next message will be volume change on channel 1 or channel 2, depending on how you look at it. And it's going to, we have 2 of those PR bytes. So it's just going to replace both of those with the value of the fader. Okay? So hit exit to stop the cursor flashing. Exit again, and you should see fader 2 flashing at you now, or fader 3 in JShell's case. Now you're going to spin over to namesave preset, and then enter, enter, enter. All right, now watch this. I got volume on both channel 1 and channel 2, all the way from 0 all the way up to 127. So 1 fader fading 2 MIDI channels simultaneously. All right, you try it, Jim. Yes. Go all the way up. Let's make sure it goes all the way.
Oh.
There, yes. There we go. All right. You got it? Only one at a time, or we can't tell the difference.
It's in the kitchen. Oh, sorry.
No, that was you. My hand was off you.
Corey is getting
Corey.
itchy here.
You went in the circle.
Yeah, and your turn.
We already,
Are we
we already
done with the
passed it.
circle now?
Yes, now go. There you go. Excellent. Now, just to further blow your mind, just for fun.
Yes.
It's pretty gone now.
Okay, let's edit fader 3. We won't actually do this. I'll just show you what the options are. So hit enter, change it to string.
Enter.
Sorry, edit fader 3.
Fader
No, that's button 3.
Oh,
Fader 3.
sorry.
There you go. Hit enter. All right, get it flashing. Now scroll to string. Stop that flashing. There you go. Now go up. And go up again. So you should see the string. Keep going. Go up. You should see now the F0, 0, 0, F7 thing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Go up again. And you've got this min-max thing. Right? So this is where you could set the range of the fader, right? Between 0 to 127. Hit it again. Up again. And you should see param format.
Single byte.
It should say single byte.
It only goes up to me.
You're on a button, not a fader.
Oh, duh.
Exit. Fader. Enter.
Enter.
String.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Param format single byte. So this means that the parameter value of the fader is just a single byte value, 0 to 127. Get that flashing with your arrow and start scrolling through these. 2 bytes, 7 bits, high to low. So this means you could have 2 bytes representing the value of the fader, and it would be nibbleized. Remember how we talked about how you could nibbleize it and ignore that 8th bit and get a bigger number that way? So you can do high to low and low to high. Low to high is how pitch bend works. You can do it with 3 bytes, high to low.
What BCD?
So 2 byte. Well, the next one was 2 byte nibs, high to low. What that does is what they call nibbleize the byte. So so you could do 0 to 127, but that would be 0 to 7F. And what it would do is it would take that single byte and it would split the 2 nibbles of the hex message into 2 separate bytes.
Oh.
Okay, that's really useful for really long hexadecimal messages for systems exclusive, because a lot of times you want to include in your systems exclusive protocol some number that's bigger than 127, and so if you nibbleize all of your data bytes, you never trigger that, right? Because everything always starts with a 0.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can do that all the way up to 4 bytes nibbleized, and you can decide whether how you want to do it. You want the least significant byte first or last. And then BCD is this, what does it stand for? I have to go look it up. It's some very bizarre thing that I've never used, but so let's see.
I can understand why these things aren't made anymore.
Well, yeah, so they're sort of smarter than most of the people who would buy them.
Yeah. So it's
So-
a lot to know, and then
Yeah, I mean, you really got to know the MIDI protocol. You got to know what you're doing. Let's see. BCD. First byte contains, so it's 2 bytes to do that. First byte contains the value of the tens per. Oh, this allows you to do decimal values.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Okay. So it's a way that you can do decimal values. But just for fun, okay, so pick the one that says, just to do an easy one, the 2 byte nibs low to high. Yep, 2 byte nibs low to high. Hit exit to stop that flashing. And then go down back to your min-max range. Now go select your max range and keep going. Now it lets you go higher than 127. See how high it'll let you go.
Why does it let you do that?
Right? You can keep going, right? Well, once we've actually passed the range we could do, because with 2 7-bit nibs, the biggest we could do is 16,535.
Let me scroll all the way to 16,000.
So you keep going. You can get all the way to
Are you
16.
really?
Yeah, you can get all the way to 16,535. Let's see.
Next time we broke out the pieces. It was over 9.
Isn't it amazing what 7 more bits will give you?
It's over 9,000. Yeah, I'm at 93, 4, 5.
I'm at
I'm only at
11,000. Come on,
5,000.
catch up.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I didn't realize it was a ring.
12,000.
I'm just
I'm only at 11. I'm
13.
at
After we get
I'll be honest,
Oh, I
I'm,
hit
only
a button! Oh,
I'm only at 7.
I'm at 15.
no! I'm so close!
16.
Press.
16,383. I
No!
got there.
I am
I'm
not.
having second over you.
I finally got to 10. Oh no! Damn it! Okay, it's okay. It was just my min. Just my min.
Just ding up! And I got 11,800.
Hey Jason, what's your shortcut for that now?
Well, I'll show you in a second. Okay.
Ow.
My wheel keeps getting stuck.
Oh.
Bicep.
I never
Cramping.
got these ones.
I know, right? It was like, I feel it in my neck.
June's close.
No,
Okay,
just
so
keep
everybody
taking
get zero, everybody get it up to 16,383. Everybody got there?
No. Still
Hurry.
working on it. I'm gonna keep getting stuck.
We're gonna make a pitch bend message.
I'll take a breather.
It's a 14.
Oh, yeah, now my wheel's getting sticky.
Oh no. Any day now.
Just as a side note, just
16-3.
I think my
To-
wheel
well,
is going
go till it stops.
literally
16,383 is where it'll stop.
Like, I feel like I'm
Got
like
it.
screwing the
Got it.
Yay!
Victory. You feel like you're
You got it yet?
Yeah.
You got it? Okay,
Yes.
great. Just as a side note, the faders are 8-bit faders, which means they only have a resolution of 0 to 255, which means this range it's gonna skip, right? It's just the knob though, or the dial, is very, very fine resolution. So I'll show you how to utilize that in a second here. All right, so you should have 16,383 flashing, yes? All right, everybody hit exit once to stop that flashing. Okay, now go down, back to your string.
Arrow down.
Yep, arrow down.
Scared
Okay. So now you should see F0, 0, 0, F7?
Yep.
Okay, so hit your right arrow to get that flashing. Now, what's the status byte for pitch bend?
7, 6.
That's
E.
No,
E.
60.
E for pitch bend.
I was close.
So we're going to do pitch bend on MIDI channel 1 or 0 for your text.
I was thinking.
So make the first byte say E0.
Yep.
Okay. Now, remember with pitch bend, the next 2 data bytes are the value of pitch bend, right? In this nibblized thing, so you have to have 2 bytes to get that big of a number. So you're going to set both of these bytes to PR. So it should say E0 PR PR. And we said previously that the parameter format for this fader now requires 2 bytes. Right? So we do 2 bytes in a row, it'll populate that number with those 2 bytes. Okay, so everybody see E0 PR PR?
Yes.
Yes? All right, hit exit to stop it flashing. Yeah, and then exit again to see the fader. Now you should see the fader flashing now. Fader 3 flashing. All right, so spin over to namesake preset. You enter, enter, enter.
So where do I hit exit again?
Now look at that. I got pitch wheel.
Do I hit exit again?
Yes.
I've seen.
Now spin. Enter, enter, enter.
So tell me more about this 16383.
Mm-hmm.
I see that number a lot when I'm doing pitch bend in
Yeah.
a situation. So 16383 is going to be dead center.
No, 16. So technically, in this, and you'll see what this. If you look at what I'm. Okay, everybody stop. Okay, look what I'm doing. I go all the way down or all the way up. I'm getting all the way down is minus 8192, and all the way up is 6257. So why am I not getting the full range? Well, in reality, it's 8,000 some change on either side of 0. Okay, so if we wanted to do a true pitch bend, we would do minus 8,100 whatever,
Or
and then positive 8,100. So it's so that the fader ranges that way, because that's how the real pitch bend wheels work. So that's why I'm only getting negative numbers right now, because ultimately it would range that way. So you would put in min, you would dial it down to negative, and then the max would be positive. So you just cut that value, that 16,383, in half.
I guess what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to learn the numerical values for pitching up a step or a half step. Can't-
That's dependent on the synth. The synthesizer decides how far those steps go. But yeah, you could put a very small range into that and have the fader just bend between that one semitone or something.
Okay.
Okay?
At least now I know why I see 16383 on my
Yeah.
computer.
Okay, so that's the basic gist of this. Yes? Okay. So what you would do is you only get 16 buttons. Right? So your whole book, you have to do the whole thing in 16 buttons. That's all you got here. Right? And really, one of those buttons should be an all kill. So save that. So that's like your stop all button.
Is there
So really, you only get 15.
other pages? Does it look like that?
Yeah, but that's hard for a kid to figure out how to do. Remember, a kid has to be able to do this without breaking it. So how do you tell the kid to hit up arrow and then go to the next thing? Right?
It's like those little storybooks that you get as a kid with the little things inside. Yeah, basic. That's the leapfrog.
So the stuff that we're doing, that we're using for keyboard cues, for the book,
Mm-hmm.
will just be replaced by this.
Yeah, so this will be the thing, because ultimately, you don't want to give, you don't want this to be your interface, because how do you know which one to push, right? And you can only make these do one message at a time. And ultimately, you're probably going to need to do several messages with one button press in order to make this thing work. So that's where this comes in handy. All right. Now, let me show you something that might make you feel a little bit better. Okay, so after I spent, we used to use these for shows all the time. So we have samplers to play back, and this would be. So after a few shows of me sitting here going, a million times trying to program my own show, I said there's got to be a better way. Turned out there wasn't. So I made one. There's this little program I made called PC 1600V, which is a little piece of software that emulates this sucker. Yeah. Actually, it's broken right now on Yosemite, and I don't know if I'm going to ever fix it because it's not worth my time. But anyway, so what this does is it used to, anyway, I don't know if I can still get it to work. Let's see. It used to be able to perfectly emulate the actual device. But that's the part that might be broken. So let me turn this back on now, and let's see.
Yeah, when I upgraded Yosemite, a lot of stuff like that.
So anyway, it's fine. It'll still work on Yosemite. It's just the emulation part doesn't work. Okay, but it used to be able to emulate this. But watch this. So if I hit this little edit window thing, get this. And so now if I want to do button 1, I just hold Command and press button 1, and it pulls up this. And here I can sort of say, all right, well, I want the function to be a string, and just delete that. And here you can say 903C7F, 913C7F, 80, whatever. You type your whole thing in there. And if you really don't want to try to memorize all, I think you should. And I'm going to give you a test that's going to ask you some of this stuff. But I do have this little thing. Hit this little open string builder, and you can actually do it. So I'm going to say, all right, I want a node on message for middle C at full velocity on channel 1. Add to string. And then I want the same thing on channel, well, so maybe now I'll go to a different note, so it'll be C sharp, add that to the string. And then I want a node off for B2, add that. Okay. And you're done, and it dumps it in there for you. Okay?
Is that all one button?
Yeah, that's all one button now.
So, what happened when you press that button?
All 3 of those things happen at the same time.
That's not useful.
That's totally useful. Because you're going to have all these sounds loaded in your keyboard, right?
Right.
They're loaded in here.
No, in your sampler.
Logic.
Yeah, in your synthesizer, right? And you might want some music to start, and a sound effect to start, and you want to stop the music that you just had before, all with one button. That's why it's useful. Okay, so
I can see this would be harder, but you can do it on a keyboard though by pressing 2 or 3 or 4 notes, a polyphonic keyboard.
right, but then you got to hold them down for as long as you want it to stay.
Right.
And then when you go on to the next one, how do you make sure you push the ones you want and release only the ones you want to stop? You'd have to push these 2 and only release that one.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm thinking 2.
yeah, this is much more easier. Harder program, but easier in the end, right? Okay, so once you have, now if you're not running Yosemite, you should be able to just hook up your MIDI interface, your USB MIDI to your device, and just hit send current preset, and it'll send the settings to it, okay? But that's broken in Yosemite at the moment, so here's what I'm going to do. Oh, by the way, so you can go into the setup thing, and here you can actually name the preset. So JSON demo, and then what you can do is hit, you can do it here. So I want to just say save current preset, and then hit go, or you can do it with File menu, save current preset. And it'll save it as a systems exclusive file. So I'll dump this on my desktop. So it's called jsondemo.sysx. And this creates a PV formatted systems exclusive file. Where is it?
That's your software.
Yes. No, but this is PV. This is like, this will talk to this guy. Like it's formatted in PV language.
Are we going to get to use the software?
Sure.
Now, if you have Yosemite, can you use this software?
Yeah, that's what I'm showing you. So I'm on Yosemite right now.
Oh.
So the part that doesn't work in Yosemite is the part where you can actually hit go and it'll just send the data straight to it automatically. Okay, so because that part's broken in here, you have to actually save it as a sysx file.
Oh, okay.
And then you have to use a separate program to do that. So I'm going to use, you can download this thing called, the same guy that makes MIDI monitor makes another thing called sysx librarian, which is this thing that lets you store a bunch of different systems exclusive files and you can remember them and then use them later. So I'm just going to say, I'll drag this into here so it's in my list, Jason's demo. And then I'm going to say, where do I want to send this? I want to send this to port A. And then, let's see. And that, so I'm just disconnect so that breaks the loop.
Oh.
So I'm just only connected straight to mine now. So I hit play, and it sends it in. And come over here and look. So I've got this message flashing now. It says save to, and then some. So it's saying, I just got this preset. What do you want me to do with it? And you have to select which of the 50 presets you want to store that to. Okay, so I'm just going to put it into 0. You hit enter, and it puts it in there. Now I got Jason's demo. Okay. Now this will work. So if I pull up my MIDI monitor now, should, there's all those 2 note ons and a note on, right?
Cool.
And now, if we get really, really into this, can we try doing max?
Yes, if you want to, but I'd like you to at least try this first.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you get to the point where this is working, then maybe we can talk about max.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So max is a whole nother ball of wax.
I know.
Okay?
Do you want to try to rename?
Yeah, that's in you want to how to do it on here? Oh yeah. Okay, so let's say we want to edit the name for button 1. So hit edit button 1, and button 1's flashing. Hit enter to stop flashing. It should see whatever message, program change, string, whatever. All right. Hit up, and then up, and you should see the name. So get it flashing with your cursor, and here you can go and name it. Now, there's a couple ways to do it. You can just use the wheel and step over and everything, or you can actually do this with the faders. So each fader is a character.
Oh, really?
Used to be.
Oh, that's cool.
Just the first one.
It's just the first one, though.
No, I used to.
No, you can do them all.
Just let you do the whole thing.
You gotta make it dance.
No, well, that part's broken. Never mind. Okay. So anyway, you can go in and set a name. Yeah, it's not bad. You can do it with the dial as well. Okay. So anyway, and then to save the preset, so get exit. So get back to where the button's flashing. Just pretend you put something brilliant in there. And so you should see edit and then the button flashing. So exit again. Exit. Okay, great. Okay, go back to edit.
Button 1 flash.
Yes. All right. Now spin over till you see that name save preset. Yeah, everybody got that?
Mm-hmm.
So instead of doing enter 3 times, just do enter once. And now you can actually dial in the name of the preset itself. So this would be like the name of your book or whatever. And then once you get it, hit enter, and then your next option is save to. So where do you want to save this preset to? Which of 50 banks do you want to put it in?
You just click the button.
No, you dial it till you get which one. So you want it to be 0
Oh, I got you.
or up to 49, whichever. I just stick to 0 for now.
Is there a good way to write here? Everything's already written.
Yes. So if you want to just like wipe everything out, say hit utility, and then hit the up until you see, let's see,
Dump.
init a preset. No, dump will send your stuff to somebody else.
Oh.
You want the one that says init a preset. And then you can get that flashing and select which of the 50 presets you want to do.
Oh, initiate. Oh,
Yeah, initialize it.
okay.
All right, so once you get the one you want, just hit enter, and it's going to say, are you sure? Because I'm about to delete everything. So, and you hit enter again, and it'll do it. And now it should say that preset initialized.
Okay. Should we delete everything?
You want to. If you totally screw this thing up, like hosed it beyond recognition and it won't do anything anymore, here's what you do. Turn it off. Hold down utility and enter. And while holding that down, turn it back on again.
Is that a cold reset?
It initializes the entire memory of the unit. So it wipes out any nonsense you put into it and loads back the factory presets. So it ships with a bunch of presets factory. Like there's 6 presets in here for Pro Tools. And a bunch of other. There's one in here for the TC Electronic reverbs and stuff like that. So anyway, you do that and it gets you back to the thing as it came out of the box. Now you can go and erase what you want. You can also, from my software, I've got a little shortcut that just wipes everything out. So if you hit this button, Initialize PC 1600X, what that does is just wipes the entire memory of the thing, including the factory presets.
Is there at least a verification message for that?
Yeah, it'll ask you again. I mean, the factory presets are hard-coded into a ROM chip, so you can't ever delete them, but you can wipe them from the current memory. So, because there's a limited number of memory that you put in here. Sometimes you might find that you maxed out, you can't put any more data in. So, and that's just because you got extra presets somewhere else chewing up the memory. So you can hit that initialize button and it'll just wipe out the whole device so that all the memory's clear now, and now you've got a clean slate.
So what do people do since this is not being made anymore? What are they using?
These. You get them on eBay. Or you make your own like Max MSP patch that takes the hokey little motorized faders from the Mackie thing and converts them into the stuff this can do. But I made this thing 10 years ago, the software, and people are still buying it from me today.
Really?
Yeah. Because my thing, even though the real device is discontinued, my software fully emulates it. Like it will do all the same. Like you can move the faders and buttons and send all the same messages. Although that's the part that's broken and you send it here, which I don't think I'm going to fix because I don't have the time. So I think what I'm really going to do is just remove all the MIDI and input output from this thing and make it be just an editor that saves that sysx file, and then you can, and it'll open it too. You can open a sysx file into it and edit it.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It does that already. And so that way, you then just use sysx librarian to dump it to the device. Alrighty.
Yeah. So should we hold on to these, or should we put them back in the shop?
Well, put it back in the shop for now, and then you can check them out. You can each check one out at some point when you're ready. And then you probably still.
But I'm getting the text this one.
You still got a few. I think you're still a few days away from being ready to do this. You got to like get your book first and like lay it all out in the Logic and program the synthesizer, and then you can start working on this. So you're still a little ways away from this.
Are we gonna go over, and this might just be a new thing, but how to use this to control Logic? Or how do we?
Yeah, so that's what this is for. So USB MIDI interface, we got a bunch of them in that cabinet. So you plug this into your computer, you install the driver for it, and then you just plug the MIDI in and out to the MIDI in and out here, and then that'll talk to this, and that'll automatically talk Logic.
Are those drivers installed on the last years?
Yes.
Is that like yes question mark or
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Should be.
Okay.
But you can install them on your laptop too.
So are we gonna get the software from you in the elevator class?
What? This? You can download that from my website. And I'll give you a code for it. I'll send you a code later, but you're a ways away from that. So if you go to my website, cd-romney.com, oh, look, I spelled my own name wrong.
I did that too.
All right, you go to projects,
What was the first two letters?
CD-Romney. It's this hokey pun that somebody gave me when I was younger. Okay, so then here's PC600V. You can click that. It takes you to the sub website for that. And then there's a link here to download the latest version, which is just version 2. And if you want to buy it, it costs you $25, but I'll give you a free code. You don't have to buy it.
Yay!
Just because I'm a swell guy.
Aw.
What a great
And I
guy.
like you.
Didn't I tell you?
Thanks for being a rad guy.
I'm having a flashback to when we talked about giving you your own logic and us giving
What?
You don't remember this? You don't remember that?
No.
Oh my god, that class was so much fun. It's all the way to have to just go and watch the videos. We were talking about YouTube. It's like, this guy got his own hat. Like, that's really cool.
Oh,
I
right,
want my
yeah.
own
On,
hat.
oh,
And
yeah,
I was
for
like,
Waves. Your own Waves bundle. That'd be awesome.
I was like, so if we all recommend that,
That's right.
do we get a code?